Taiwanese boutique saxophones are no stranger to the channel. Eastmans, Perry Marriotts, you name them, we've done them. And today we're going to be doing a versus challenge. The Antigua ProOne versus the Cannonball Raven. Let's check it out. Howdy everybody, my name is Andrew King and welcome here to Alamo Music. Don't forget to check us out at alamomusic.com where we have these instruments and so many more for you to peruse and buy. Also, if you can leave a like, that would help us out in the long run. Today, we are going to be talking about two very special instruments to the channel. It is the Cannonball the Raven and the Antigua Winds ProOne. Both of these are fantastic professional level instruments with very distinct characteristics that make them special in their own right, but I kind of wanted to put them against each other, kind of see what the big differences are, why you would choose one over the other, what's the big deal with the big bell. Well, today we're going to answer that, and we're going to be looking at distinctly the Cannonball the Raven. The Raven is from the Cannonball Big Bell Stone series, and it's with the black nickel and the black nickel matte parts. It's a mouthful, but just to talk about it in hindsight, this instrument played great in our last video. We did a full review on it. We used two specific necks. It comes with two necks actually, which is actually really cool. It comes with this really cool resistance style Selmer overslung neck, and then like this it's called the Fat Boy neck, and those necks are awesome. I really like the Fat Boy in particular. I think that if you're gonna buy an instrument like this, you're playing it for jazz, like I know you are. So you're going to use something like that, you're going to put the Fat Boy on there, and you're going to play it huge and loud. This does that. You can get like that really sick, like Eric Marinthal huge tone where it's just projecting across the whole band. That is this kind of instrument. Now, on the other hand, we're going to be also talking about the Antigua Winds ProOne. This instrument is also enamored with a lot of little accoutrements that are made to make the instruments feel a lot more special. Rolled out tone holes for more substantial contact with the pad, meaning that you don't have to really worry about any kind of leaks in the long run. You also have the P1 neck, designed and made by Peter Ponzel himself, mostly known for his great work with Kyle Worth. He's also designed the body and everything like that. So this instrument is made from a legend, and this instrument plays like it. It has great intonation up and down. It has an awesome amount of bore, so you get a huge sound out of it, kind of like the Fat Boy on the Cannonball, but we'll get that in a second. This instrument just plays great, and it's also nice and bulky in the hands. Now, ergonomically, both of these instruments are very distinct. The Cannonball is going to have kind of a smaller body with a larger bell. On the other hand, you're kind of going in the inverse with the ProOne. The ProOne, it feels nice and stocky. It's a heavy set instrument with some extra parts, so it means a lot more focus on there with a normal size bell. Now, the bell size really isn't going to do anything. The only note that kind of thing will ever affect is going to be your low B flat, and that's really not even going to happen in the first place most of the time, unless you're really going for that kind of like, you know, boat horn sound. But ergonomically, both these instruments just play great. I will say that the keys and everything like that on the Cannonball feel awesome, the action's good. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of is that they're just a little too small for what I like. Now, personally, I have larger hands. Like, that's just where I'm at. So where I have on the ProOne, really comfortable, it's nice and stocky, the instruments round out really well, the keys on it, I'm really a huge fan of the palm key placement. The Cannonball is just a little too tiny for what I like. Now, if you have smaller hands, that might be a huge plus for you. You don't really have to worry about kind of rebending anything or going the other way. So that might be a huge plus. So I definitely do recommend if you want to come by or want to go and try out the two in particular, make sure that your vendors around you have those in stock, try them out. I definitely recommend going to any huge music conferences, they'll definitely be there. Now, the other cool thing about these that I particularly like is going to be the necks. Now, with variety comes kind of a jack of all trades kind of aspect. Master of some, master of none, you know, that kind of thing. The instrument, as far as I'm aware, the Cannonball in particular, I'm not a huge fan of the overslung resistance style neck. It doesn't do what you're supposed to do with a Cannonball when you buy it, especially when you buy this one. You're buying it because it's bombastic. You're buying the big bell. You're buying it for a huge sound. So you're not really going to be using that one in the first place. So you're kind of just paying for something you don't really need. Now, that being said, the fat neck is just sick. I mean, the fat neck plays a huge sound. It plays over a band easily. I totally recommend it. That being said, the Pro One also has what's called the P1 neck, and it's a larger bore neck as well, but it's not really as, how do I say this? It's a lot more friendly as far as approaching to it. You still get a huge, beautiful tone out of it and everything, but when you play on instruments like the Cannonball and everything, you better go in there with the preparation that you're gonna be playing on a large tip mouthpiece, because if you play on any kind of smaller tip, even like a 6 or a 5 on a jazz mouthpiece, you're not getting the full value of what the instrument's supposed to be giving you. You want that 7 to 8, 7-star, huge mouthpiece sound, and that is what I think kind of holds the Cannonball back as far as neck goes in comparison to the Pro One. The Pro One's neck is awesome. I can play on a 5 mouthpiece, I can play on a 7, I can play on an 8. The whole way up, the instrument plays great and it supports it really well. The instrument was designed very well with that kind of playing, in fact, so I definitely do recommend it. Now, let's go ahead and check out the videos. Let's see them played together one by one, and you tell me what you think. I'm going to be playing on a New York Meyer 7. It's a vintage New York Meyer with a Blue Box 2 Van Doren reed, and if you care, a Van Doren Optimum ligature. Check it out. Well, what did you think? I really liked both of these instruments. They play awesome, and I totally recommend, if you ever had the chance, try them out. They're 100% worth it. In my opinion, both of these play great. Now, here's the deal, and this is just my opinion, but when it comes to these kind of horns, you're going into it wanting a professional level saxophone, right? You're getting it because you want it to do good at a thing, right? If you're a jazz player, you want your saxophone to play good playing jazz. If you're a classical player, you want the tools available to you to play a nice dark tone, and you want to play classical music really well, right? if you're going for these and you're wanting to choose between the two, and you're more into the ProOne and you're just seeing it compared to other saxophones and stuff, that's fantastic. I just recommend that if you're going into these, kind of look up a bunch of the reviews of these instruments. In my opinion, they play great right out of the box. Both of these instruments are fairly used instruments. They're ones that have been around for a while. The Cannonball came in on a trade. The ProOne has been in the box for a good amount of time. I do recommend trying them out before you go and play them, but check out reviews, do your research and everything like that. That's definitely a thing to do. In my opinion, I definitely like the ProOne a little bit more, only because it kind of gives me that middle ground that I'm looking for. Because while I would love to be like the next Eric Marienthal and have that huge door blasting tone, I also just really would like an instrument that would play soft and be able to play nice ballads and I like that kind of classical inspired jazz tone. That's why I use like that 7 New York Meyer. It gives me that. I don't really like the metal mouthpieces, so it kind of gives me that in between. If I was playing on the Cannonball and I was playing on that Fat Boy neck the whole time, it would just be so large all the time, and that's not exactly what I would like. But everyone's use case is different. If you're looking for that huge tone and everything, and you're ready to go ahead and like dive deep and pay the money that's required to play on these kind of Cannonballs, do it. Go for it. They're awesome saxophones. They're not going to let you down or anything, and I recommend them wholeheartedly. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please get down in the comments and tell me which one you liked. They both play great to me. I think that the subtone on the Cannonball was also really cool, but just the tone that I got and the focus that I got and the intonation on that ProOne was phenomenal. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you at the next one.